Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the YouTube channel. I'm John Kurtz. If you have not subscribed, please click that subscribe button. I know it's down there somewhere. Please hit it. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and turn on the alerts. You can get an alert every time new K-State content comes out, which is, by the way, multiple times per week. We're still talking Sunflower Showdown here. Not about the game, though. It's about the off-the-court stuff. That's been the story this year, whether it was Les Miles' comments going into the football game or what happened in Lawrence with the two teams fighting and then the build-up to K-State. Now, we got incident-free throughout that basketball game. We did not have an incident. In fact, the only thing that happened is before the game, the two teams go play the sportsmanship game and shake hands at midcourt, right? Everybody feels good, lovey-dovey moment. K-State fans did boo. But, hey, it's not like booing Santa Claus like Philly fans or something like that. It's just booing sportsmanship. K-State fans did boo. We had that moment. Then after the game, Bill Self took credit for the handshake.
My sports supervisor, Sean Lester, and I talked about it, and we both thought it'd be a good idea. So we approached K-State about it, and I think they concurred. So this what happened over there at our place was an embarrassment to both teams, both schools, and certainly no place for it.
Now, I wondered when that happened. When Bill Self said that, I thought in the back of my mind, like, if Bruce Weber hears of this, is he going to be a little upset about that? Is he going to be a little perturbed? Because I would think that something like that is a joint decision. I wouldn't think that's something that someone's going to take credit for as being their idea, one side or the other. Both sides clearly were embarrassed, not thrilled with what happened in Lawrence. Nobody wanted that. Seems like the kind of thing to be a mutual idea. Hey, Bruce Weber didn't have anything to say. He just kind of breezed past it in his post-game press conference, but flash forward to Monday. Gene Taylor, K-State's athletic director, joined my local radio show, The Game, on KMAN in Manhattan, and he had this to say.
I found it interesting that Coach Self took full credit for the handshake, which was kind of interesting. To be honest with you, we've been talking about that from the night that it happened back in our place. But, it doesn't matter who gets the credit. At the end of the day, I think it was a gesture both schools wanted to see happen and say, hey, look, we've moved past this. Players and coaches, let's just go play a basketball game, and it turned out to be a really good basketball game as well.
How about that? Gene Taylor did take notice of what Bill Self had to say post-game. That was unprompted, by the way. I didn't ask specifically about that. It was a general question about the game and just how things went with the crowd. Okay, so if you're Bill Self, I do think this is a bit of gamesmanship. This is trying to get some positive PR over on K-State with this whole deal, because what happens? I go to ESPN.com a day after the game, and there's an article written there not just about the game, but also about K-State and KU shake it out before the game. And in the third paragraph, it does credit Bill Self with coming up with the idea, because in the post-game press conference, he said that it was his idea. Kansas took the brunt of this when it happened, right? And K-State didn't, in large part because Kansas was more at fault there, all right? Silvio De Sousa's the guy that winds up standing over Dejuan Gordon. Silvio De Sousa is the one that throws punches first. Silvio De Sousa is the one with the damn stool over his head. And so I think it was smart of Bruce Weber after the game to frame it as, we're just glad it wasn't worse because your guy was holding the stool over his head. Okay, so it could have been worse. And Gene Taylor didn't come out with a statement like Jeff Long did. Again, brilliant PR. Keep the focus on Kansas. They're the ones that should be backpedaling. They're the ones that should be in major PR mode. So if you're Bill Self here, you're trying to get K-State back on that and say, look, I'll get out in front of this. I'll be the guy that gets my name on ESPN.com as the real peacemaker here. We are the ones that set the tone with the peacemaking. So I do have to give credit to both sides there, really. K-State did a good job in the moment. Bill Self honestly did a good job right there in the postgame press conference taking credit for it. I don't proclaim to know exactly really what happened here. I don't know the exact story of what went on. I don't think Gene Taylor would just come on the airwaves and lie and say, hey, we actually had a role in this when we didn't. So I'd imagine it was more of a joint decision. And you know what? If I'm Gene Taylor and that's how it went down and I heard and saw Bill Self do that, yeah, I'd be a little pissed too. I'd be perturbed. It's not the end of the world, but he probably deserves to be called out on it. Bill Self does. I know my place. I know it's just a local radio show. It's not like this is generating headlines on ESPN.com, and it's not going to make up for any of it. Sometimes that just makes you feel better, because what you have here is Bill Self. Listen, he's the class bully that's sitting there and just beating you up, and then all of a sudden the teacher walks in, sits up straight. He has an apple for the teacher. Hey, Teach, how's it going? And the teacher doesn't know anything about what's going on behind closed doors. And you sit there and think, what an asshole. Like, what an asshole this guy is. And he gets away with it. You have that frustration if you're Gene Taylor here watching Bill Self do that, man. Bill Self is smooth, all right? Bill Self is smooth, and he can pull off that routine for a certain amount of time. But the good news is, mainly for the K-State fans here subscribing, not so much for you Kansas fans if you're here watching this video, it's that the NCAA ain't buying that whole straighten up, give you an apple routine anymore. It looks like the NCAA is coming Kansas. But for now, Bill Self did pull one over on K-State a little bit there. But I'm with Gene Taylor. It's a little annoying, all right? It's a little annoying. You're kind of a slimy guy, Bill. It's annoying.